But supposing I'm already in a marriage that is not working well, look at why it is not working well. Look at what you can do to make it work well. And if all efforts fail, get out of that place called marriage that is like a prison and enjoy your life. There's no reason why you should remain in the home where you're not happy, you don't have joy, where your life is threatened, where everything looks like you are being on earth is a mistake. There's no reason being in that kind of place, because marriage is for betterment. It's not for better and for worse, it's for better. Two are better than one, not two are worse than one. Two are better. So if you get married to somebody, at the moment you get married, things should start getting better in your life. Now, don't get me wrong, better doesn't mean, doesn't mean that you should have plenty of money. We're not talking about money now when we're talking about better, because there are people that are rich and they're depressed. So money is not equivalent to happiness. Money is not equivalent to a better life. What is equivalent to a better life is the quality of life. And let me be honest, most times the quality of life is not dependent on your account balance. Because a man's life does not consist in the abundance of things that he possesses. You're not defined by what you have. You are defined by who you have. You're not defined by what you have. You are defined by who you have. If any man glory, let him glory in this, that he knows me. So the knowledge of Christ is the true definition of a man's worth. The knowledge of Christ. And of course, husbands, love your wives. In fact, don't just love your wives by giving them ice cream and taking them to tantalizers. That is not love. Any boyfriend on the road can take your wife to tantalizers and give her ice cream. Loving your wife is not ice cream. You love your wife as Christ loves the church and gave his life for the church. So a true husband will lay down his life for his wife. I'm not talking about boys, I'm talking about men. And you ladies, don't marry a boy, because if you marry a boy, he will boy you. It's not good for a man to be alone. It didn't say it's not good for a boy to be alone. That's why a student in secondary school has no business having girlfriends, and a girl in secondary school has no business having boyfriends. In fact, even in the university, you have no business having boyfriends and girlfriends. Why? Because if your eye is double, your body will be full of darkness. You can't pursue two things at a time. If you are in school, pursue school, graduate well. And let me tell you something else. I am an advocate that ladies should not get married in poverty. I'm an advocate that ladies should not get married in a state of poverty, because a man will take advantage of you permanently. Graduate, get a skill, make some money, and don't marry out of frustration. Marry out of desire. No girl is a victim except she chooses to be one. The same faculties a man has, a woman has. The same abilities a man has, a woman. I told you I had a girl in school. Her name was Patience. She dealt with me in mathematics. I respect her forever. She was very brilliant. The problem is some of us subject ourselves to societal pressures. My mother said, what are you waiting for? My father said, what are you waiting for? People are asking me, where is Mr. Right? Tell them, Mr. Right. I am Mr. Right. What is Mr. Right? Am I wrong? Nobody says you was married at 20, 25, even 30. You can marry at 35. I'm not joking. It's better to set your life, even if it takes you 40 years to set your life before you get married, than to marry and be victimized. You're begging for pocket money, you're begging for transport, you're begging for feeding money, you're begging for monthly allowance, you can't do anything until a man puts his hands in his pocket. After a while, he will tell you, I don't have, and you play the victim. But when you...
Okay. I don't know, but I should not just say amen and go home. Amen. You know. Amen. You were about preaching real good.
Real good preaching.
When was that? Where was that?
This was one of my son's church in Yenagua.
Oh.
Refined People's Assembly. I was preaching in his convention.
Oh.
This must have been 2 years ago or something. Yes, Pastor Daddy came.
Oh.
That's his church.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
In the continent. Everywhere you go, you just drop a bomb and move away.
That's what the gospel is about.
Absolutely.
Casting down imagination. Subjection to the leaders.